Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. I want to do a video today talking about the Facebook bans, the censorship that happened recently, and kind of the what that means for conversations around free speech, and my opinion on the importance of this conversation, and that people, that the public, stand up for the people that were being banned, not because we believe in their opinions, not because we agree with their expressions, but because we believe in the importance of free speech. That's what I want to talk about, the importance of free speech. So if you didn't hear, Facebook banned permanently several people who are, at minimum, very questionable individuals, espousing very, I would say, ludicrous opinions in many cases. Alex Jones is one of them. Milo Yiannopoulos is another. Louis Farrakhan, Laura Loomer, I think her name is, and I think some others. They're primarily conservative or right-wing, or even maybe you might even say dangerous individuals. Some of the topics that they might espouse are potentially inflammatory, let's say. I think that's me being generous in some situations. But here's the thing. To my knowledge, none of those individuals call for physical harm to other individuals. And it's important that what I want to say is, if you're not calling for the violence towards others or making plans with your words to orchestrate violence, to commit a crime, then you should be allowed to say whatever it is you want to say, even if I don't agree with it. Maybe especially if I don't agree with it, because when we don't agree and yet we discuss, we have community and we can grow in knowledge and understanding of one another, and possibly learn something. Because although we all feel as if we know everything we need to, of course we don't. You look back on yourself 5 years ago, you don't know what you don't know. And so communicating with people who we disagree with is one of the best ways for humanity to grow, especially now when we're really seeing this divide between right and left. And when we go in, we ban people, when we censor people, when Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or, what's that one called? Patreon, or even MasterCard, there's like rumors that these payment systems are going to move towards restricting certain voices, certain individuals, because the argument goes they're espousing violence with their words. Their words are violence, is what they'll argue, because they are the content is so dangerous or disagreeable or quote unquote wrong. And look, these people are idiots. Alex Jones is, I think, a certifiable crazy man with conspiracy theories, and Yiannopoulos is, I don't even know what to say about him. I can't stand him. I don't know that Laura Loomer person, and who was the other one? Louis Farrakhan. I don't really know him. I've heard about him, but it doesn't matter who they are. The conversation isn't whether you agree with them and like the individual. The conversation, in my opinion, needs to be focused on whether or not we agree that it is important for an individual, all individuals, to have free speech. And what I mean by free speech is, again, not the ability to communicate and orchestrate crime. That is illegal, and there's laws against that. But free speech, in my mind, is the ability to espouse or share or voice an opinion regardless of its content, regardless of its veracity, because you are a fallible individual and so am I. So you need to have an opportunity to speak what you think, and then hopefully there'll be people that'll come around you if you're wrong and educate you, inform you, redirect you. But if we silence your voice, we don't stop the idiocy of the belief. We simply deny the individual an opportunity to learn the real truth. So whether it's round Earth, whether it's flat Earth believers, if we want to silence them because that is a quote unquote dangerous idea, you're not killing the idea. You're just preventing the individual from working out their belief in moving toward truth, in my opinion. And so this is so dangerous. We don't like Louis Farrakhan's politics. We don't like Milo Yiannopoulos, who he associates with. We don't like Alex Jones's conspiracy theories. Sure, okay, fine. But to deny them a voice is to kill free speech, not because they are somehow, a special example, but because they are an individual in a free world, in the Western world, which is allegedly free, and yet they are not allowed to enter a public domain like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube and communicate their opinions, thoughts, and beliefs. And not only is that a slippery slope, because today it's them and tomorrow it's, you, because of whatever belief you espouse. I'm a Christian. Christians could be, set aside, pushed off of environments like YouTube or Twitter or Facebook because, Old Testament quote, insert here, out of context, now. And so it's dangerous because it's a slippery slope, but it's also dangerous because literally the Western civilization that we all take for granted, the freedoms that we take for granted in Canada and America and Western Europe, in the best parts of the world, are built on the idea that free speech, built on the idea that we are free as individuals, that the liberty of the individual is important, and that without liberty for the individual, there is no liberty at all. And I think tied into that is the idea that you need to be able to communicate what you believe and think, not just because, like I said earlier, it can allow you to find real truth if you're mistaken, but also because we don't always know what we really think until we start speaking it. We need time to process our own thoughts, and to deny speech of any kind because you don't like the content is actually to squash the ability for thought to grow, because speech and conversation are part of the growth of an idea. It's a process, not a thought is a process, not a final kind of decision. You don't just formulate one opinion and then forget about the topic forevermore. You constantly are in this give and take where you hopefully are dialoguing with individuals who disagree with you, whether it's about faith and Christianity, as I espouse, or whether it's about opinions on the gender wage gap. We need to be allowed to communicate our opinion in conversation and with people who disagree with our position, so that we can better understand not only their opinion but our own. And so when we quash freedom of speech on things like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, which is constantly going on now, Facebook's the most recent one, but like I said earlier, Patreon is currently cutting out certain people's right to access that system for payment, which in my mind is a denial of free speech, because those individuals are being kicked off Patreon and denied their income source because of what they're saying. And then MasterCard's allegedly considering doing the same thing, being petitioned to do the same thing. And so we're literally cutting off the ability for individuals to express thought, and we're punishing them financially if they don't come in line with our opinions on let's say a specific matter. And so silencing opinion isn't the answer here. We need to continue dialogue and welcome free speech of all kinds, especially when there's disagreement, because only through that communication can we actually have growth. And that process is integral to the idea of the freedom and the success that we see in the Western world today. That idea that we can come together in dialogue and find best ideas by debating one another, by coming together in conversation with one another. That is so integral to the idea and the foundation of the society that we take for granted today. And I think that's the problem. We take it for granted. We don't even recognize the importance of that ability, the freedom of speech. And so we just say, Milo Yiannopoulos is an idiot. It's just him. I agree. Let's silence him because he's an idiot. He as an individual is an idiot. But here's the point. When we deny free speech to anyone, we have killed free speech for everyone. There is no such thing as freedom of speech unless it is for all, including and maybe especially for those we disagree with. That's all I wanted to say today. I did a post on this, like an essay style post on steemit.com. You can check it out if you want. Guys, this is my channel on YouTube. I talk about my finances, my family, and my faith, and sometimes politics too. or philosophy. Today I just really thought this was so important because free speech is foundational for the society that we love and we take for granted. And you know, the slippery slope is a serious consideration, because you look at places like China where, you know, individuals can't speak openly about what faith they believe, or you know, even do Falun Gong, which is like a kind of Tai Chi type yoga thing, because it's kind of spiritual, and you're not allowed to have those types of thoughts or desires or interests in a place like China. This is the slope that's further down the slope of where we're walking now, what we're doing now. When we ban individuals on something like Facebook, we are moving toward a world where centralized power can restrict what is said, what is believed, and what is truth. That's, I think, the worry that we're facing here, guys. I really do think it's that important. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Follow me on steemit.com, guys. Have an awesome day. God bless you.